Hi everyone, behind me is Xiaomi shop. Well, I think most of you know this brand. They make cell phones and actually quite well and for quite some time now. They make rice cookers, they make microwave cookers, they make washing machines, they make freezers, TVs, tablets, all sort of things. But a few years ago, they came out and they said they are going to make a car. And we were laughing at this news. Well guys, it's not funny because they came up with this thing. Xiaomi SU7, a 673 horsepower, 0 to 100 in under 2.8 seconds. This rocket, a first car. This is definitely not funny. This thing is quite serious. So everyone, welcome to Car Shifu. And we start. Well, lots of people were talking a lot about this car for quite a long time. And then in 2024, this car came out. It has different versions. We will talk about this in a minute. But this thing now sells and sells really, really well. Lots of people wanted girls, boys, older men, younger men, older and younger, everyone. So before we talk about its powertrain, its suspension, its interior and how it drives, let's talk a little about its looks. Most of the cars that come out here in China in this class, they compare them with Tesla Model 3. But Xiaomi, they went a very different way because they did not compare it with Tesla Model 3. They did compare it with Porsche Taycan. And lots of people, they said, this car looks like Porsche Taycan. Is that a bad thing? I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It doesn't look like Porsche Taycan. It has some similarities, but no, it's quite a different car. But the thing is, it gives you sportiness, it gives you good looks. This car is quite handsome. What do you think? So you also can leave your thoughts in the comments below. Well guys, let's talk about the range first. You have 3 batteries to choose, starting from 73 kilowatts all the way to 101 kilowatts. With the range of 700 kilometers all the way to 830, depending on which model you choose. We are driving Max version, the fastest SU7, and its range is 800 kilometers. 800 kilometers, that's CLTC. Well, this is not something you can achieve in the real world. Maybe in the stories, maybe in the fairy tales, but in the real world, 500 kilometers. Or even close to 600 kilometers. Wow, that's really good. Power-wise, you also have a choice with its rear-wheel drive version with 299 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. And depending on the version you choose, a long range or its base range models, its 0 to 100 will change from 5.28 seconds to 5.7 seconds. And then there's this one, the Max version with dual motors. What it has? It has 673 horsepower. It has 833 Newton meters of torque. And this thing does 0 to 100 in 2.78 seconds, in under 2.8 seconds. And all of this for the price starting from 215,000 RMB all the way to its Max version in just under 300,000 RMB. Exact prices you can see right here in RMB and in euros and in US. And for this price, you get this, with these looks, with this performance, and this much tech in it. Xiaomi SU7 is not a small car with its length just shy of 5 meters and with its wheelbase of 3 meters. We will talk about its interior space in a minute, but let's talk a little about its suspension because in here it's also quite interesting. Why? If we talk about base models, the first and the second in the range, then, well, what do you get? You get double wishbone suspension in the front and you get multi-link at the back. But if you go for the Max version, the ones that we're driving today, you also do get adaptive damping and you do get air suspension. Which means you can control or you can change its stiffness and its height. Apart from these, the first 2 versions single motor ones. They are rear wheel drive cars. And if we talk about max version, most of the power goes to the rear. And then you do have the front motor that helps you to go really quick. Let's talk a little about this interior. Well, we have to remember this car for Xiaomi is the first car. It's their first attempt to build a car. And considering this car is actually quite nice inside. It has its flaws, the flaws that you wouldn't do if you had a very rich experience in building cars. But considering this is their first car, actually the quality is really nice. Yes, it has lots of squeaks from these seats that are scratching the center console, and it does sounds which annoy you a lot. But apart from this, actually this is a really nice place to sit. First, let's talk about the materials, because materials wise, it's actually quite nice. Here it's leather, here it's a kind of spongy feeling material that is not leather, it's not cloth, it's not hard, it's not plastic. Well, it's something in the middle. It's nice. And then when you go down, the handle is nice and soft, but underneath the handle it's all cheap and hard plastic. The same with the center console. Here it's leather, then again the same material that you get here. The steering wheel is beautiful and nice, and it's a really nice thing to hold on. Then the central console, this place looks like wood, which I don't think it is. But altogether, this car gives you enough quality feel. It gives you enough, okay, I wouldn't say luxury, because now for the same price, there are lots of cars in China that can give you a better luxury feel. Also better equipment and more tech to play with. But considering everything, this is actually quite nice. Talking about the position and how you sit here, well, the seats are really nice, they're supportive, and how they are made, the shape is really nice. And also the adjustment, it's something that you do not see that much in electric cars. What do I mean? I mean that in this car you can sit, or you can adjust your seat quite low, or low enough to get this sport sedan feeling. Especially on this seat here, you do not sit that low, which is, to be honest, interesting. Or it's just me. You can adjust the seat, you can adjust its angle, you can adjust the back, you can adjust the support for your back, you can adjust the steering wheel, which is electrically adjusted, and the range is actually quite big, up, down, forward, and backwards. You can find a really nice sitting position here. So no problems in here. Let's talk a little about what toys do you get with this car. Well, you do get dual climate control, you do get automatic lights and wipers. You do get front seats cooling and heating, but there is no massage at the back. You do get heating. So most of the things you need, you do get here. Of course, there are lots of choices now with better toys, better equipment for even less money. But altogether, this is not bad. Now, let's talk a little about this bad boy. If we talk about this screen, okay, it's a 3K really nice screen. The system is also very, very responsive. Everything you need, you can control it from here. And you can connect your Apple phone, you can connect your Android phone, you can connect any phone with Bluetooth. So this is not a problem. Also, if we talk about the music, its standard version have 10 speakers. And if you pay a little extra, you get 23 speakers. And the version, max version that we're driving today, it has 23 speakers from the start. But the thing is that I would like to tell you about is how much freedom Xiaomi gives you as a driver. Because this is in Chinese now. If you in the future get this car in Europe or any other country, in US or in Asia, it will have English. Here in China, it's in Chinese, but it's not a problem for me because I do speak and I do read Chinese. Well, we go on. It has comfort mode, it has sport mode, it has sport plus mode. Apart from this, it has M1 and M2 modes where you can do adjustments and you can do all of the tunes you want to do with this car. And in this case, you have so much choice. Well, let's call it R mode. And here, first of all, you can choose do you want from its dual motors? You want 50% of it, you want 60% of it, or you want all 100, in which case you have 673 horsepower, or you can get just 1%, in which case a bicycle can outrun you, I guess. 1%, what is it? It's 6 point something horsepower. Wow, not much. Well, apart from this, you can choose how heavy your steering will be. It's heavy, or it's light, or it's in the middle. Apart from this, you can choose how high your car will be because it has air suspension. And apart from this, you can choose your adaptive damping. You want to be stiff or you want to be soft. And apart from this, you can choose how much power. And the party piece, you can choose how much power do you want to go to the rear or to the front. It does not give you more power, it makes it less. And how it works, for example, when you choose 50-50, it means it gives you all the powers that both of the motors have. If you put it to the back, it means more power goes to the rear wheels. And it does not give you more power on the rear, it just controls or gives you less power on the front. But again, you can control this and you can make it a front-wheel drive car or a rear-wheel drive car or a four-wheel drive car, and you can control the range. Wow! This is a lot of freedom, this is a lot of choice. For people, experienced drivers, it's really nice, but for people who are new to cars, who just bought the car and they do not have much experience driving fast cars, it can be a little dangerous because you can turn off the stability control, ESP, ESC and ES, everything. On this car, it gives you a lot of freedom. But this is not a problem of Xiaomi, this is the problem of people who drive this car. Because if you want to drive this car, you have to be prepared, or just be very careful and do not touch all of these things. Xiaomi SU7, how nice could this back row, back seat be? To be honest, not that nice. You could do a lot better. It has a really long, really big wheelbase, which should translate into lots of space. Well, space-wise, it's okay. This seat is my sitting position. It's low, it's far, the back is, almost laying down because I have quite a sporty sitting position. My height is 1.75 meters, so I'm not really tall. But I sit here, I have enough space in front of my knees, but the problem is my knees are too close to my ears because these seats, they are too low. And this is something you get with lots of electric cars, because there you do get a battery, and in this case it's quite a big battery. It's 101 kilowatts, which takes lots of your floor space, which means your feet will be quite high, and I do not have any support for my knees. Yes, the seats are nice, yes, the shape is good, yes, you have softness to it and it has enough support for your body, but this position, I wouldn't say it's really good. Now, talking about the toys here, there aren't that many. You do have a big panoramic roof. You do have these places which you can use if you buy Xiaomi tablets and install them here, so you will have two screens at the back. You do get two Type-C chargers. You do get a fridge, which is right here. Apart from this, you have a handrest with two cup holders. You do get two Isofix, so you can put two baby seats in here. But altogether, I would say it's just okay. Now let's take a look at the trunk. Under this electrically adjusted rear wing, there is actually a really nice panel reminding you that this car was designed by Xiaomi and that this motor can do 1000 RPM. It has 495 kilowatts and it has 838 Newton meters of torque. It's right here and you will not forget it if you stand here. Okay, let's talk about the trunk. First of all, you have to push this button, which is really dirty because we were driving, well, on the mountain roads and it was raining, and it means this place is really dirty. Now I have to get my fingers dirty and I don't want to do that. But what shall we do? Maybe this? Well, first of all, it's electric. The second thing, it's actually quite deep and it's quite wide and the shape is really good. So you can take quite a lot of stuff, and it has a compartment underneath the floor panel. And being an electric car, it means it has a front trunk, the front space, front trunk. Let's take a look. The front is actually quite decent. You could put lots of stuff here. You could keep some fish in here. But the thing is, here, Xiaomi, they also put this small panel reminding you that its motor can do 21,000 RPM and it has 495 kilowatts and it has 838 Newton meters of torque. Well, I guess now at night, if you wake me up, I'll tell you all of these numbers, no problem, because it keeps reminding me of it. All right, okay, I remember now. All right. Xiaomi SU7. So how does it drive? Maybe we can start with how fast it is. Well, let me say it this way. It is fast. It's really fast. It has four-wheel drive system. It has 673 horsepower. It has 838 Newton meters of torque. It does 0 to 100 in 2.78 seconds. Believe me, speed is not something that you will be wishing for, because this thing, and it delivers speed in lumps. So how does it feel? Well, usually you will use its comfort mode, and in comfort mode, well, it's not that ferocious or it's not that explosive, I would say this way, but it's strong. It keeps enough comfort, the acceleration comfort, where you step on it and it delivers the speed, the power, all of the horsepower and torque closer, I would say closer to maybe big capacity petrol engine. Maybe a V6, twin turbo V6, or maybe a twin turbo V8. It gives you time to get used to this acceleration. It gives you time to get ready. So you drive it in comfort mode and yes, it's comfy. It's strong, it's very strong, but it will not make you uncomfortable, or it will not make you think I'm driving a racing car, or I'm driving something that can do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in under 3 seconds. So comfort mode is more than enough for it. 99.9% of people and 99.9% of needs. And to be honest, I really do like its comfort mode because, as I said, it's really strong, but it's comfy enough. My dad could easily drive this car without any problem. My wife could easily drive this car without any problem. And I can drive it with no problem at all. Let's talk a little about its pedals. Maybe we can start with accelerator. And depending on what mode you're using now, its behavior is actually quite different. Now in comfort mode, it gives you enough time, well, to get ready. It feels luxurious. It doesn't give you too much of power, of course, unless you step on it. And then, yes, it gives you a lot of power. But for normal use, comfort mode, it feels, I would say it this way, it feels enough juicy, it feels enough heavy, and at the same time it feels enough nippy. So it's nice. If you use it sport mode or sport plus mode, then it's a very different story. It's like a nerve where you step on it and it just gives you bzzz, and you just boom, you shoot out. Well, of course, different modes, different feelings, different behavior. If we talk about the brakes, well, I do not have any problem with them. If we talk about the stopping power, it has a lot of it. Maybe it's not enough for you to go to the track and use it as a track car, because they are steels and they will get hot, because this car, it is heavy. It's 2.2 tons. But in the city or on the mountain roads, it's more than enough. Its stopping power is really good. Its feel is really good. You do not have to press really deep to make it stop. You just control the pressure on the pedal and it feels natural. So I do not have any problem with the brakes too. They're quite suitable for this car. As this car is not a track car, it's not Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. This is Max. This is a crazy fast city car. A few words about its steering feel. Well, we can start with the steering wheel itself because it's just beautiful. It's small enough, but it's not too small. It's meaty enough, but not too thick. So the feel in your hand is really, really good. And then the weight of it, of course, you can control the weight. If you want, you can make it lighter in your hands, or if you would like to, you can make it heavier in your hands. But no matter what, it feels natural, which is quite an achievement, because with the weight, it doesn't change the way it feels on the road. Natural. And if we talk about what it gives you from the road, because this is an important part, this car is a sports sedan. This car has to bring you a lot of information through the road, through the wheels, through the steering wheel. And in this case, this car also delivers. Why? I know what my wheels are doing. I know what degree they're turned on. I know what kind of pavement I'm driving on. I have feelings. I know how the weight works on this car when I turn. I know how much grip I have when I go out of the corner and I press the accelerator. Well, it gives you all of this information, and plus to this, it filters most of the unwanted things like bad pavement. So it feels comfy enough, but also it gives you a lot of information that you need in this sort of car. And now the party piece of this steering wheel, or its steering itself altogether, the whole system, it gives you lightning quick response from the front end. It's so quick, and you do not have to turn it a lot. So its nose is like electricity. It just goes after your steering input. Feel. So this car feels very sporty, it feels very natural, it feels really quick, and you do not have to wait until your nose gets the response or does what you want it to do. It's tight, it's quick, it's responsive, it's clear. And to achieve this for a company that makes their first car, and this is their first car, man, they've done a really good job. Now let's talk a little about its suspension, because suspension is also one of the important parts, especially on its Max version. Why? Yes, we have front double wishbone. Yes, we have multi-link at the back. Yes, we have air suspension, and we have adaptive damping. So what does it bring? Well, if you consider that it has air suspension, so you would think that this car, well, it's really comfy. It's very soft, it's creamy, and that's what you are waiting from a car with air suspension and with the adaptive damping. But this is not the case with this car, because yes, it does have air suspension, but it's not really for comfort. Yes, you do get a sniff of air suspension. It does give you this softness, but this softness, this layer is quite thin, because this suspension, the way they tuned it, the way they've made it, it's not for this creamy drive. Of course it does have it, but this is for making it tight enough, and when you need it, to put it lower, closer to the ground, to pull its center of gravity closer to the ground, so you control the body of this car, because, well, it's heavy. Again, it's 2.2 tons. So if you can pull it closer to the ground when you need, it means you can control the weight better, which means it can do a lot of stuff in the turns, in the corners. Is it comfy? It's comfy enough. It does feel luxurious. What car I could compare it to? BMW 3 Series 2 generations before, E90. In most of the feelings, in the steering feeling, in the way its nose turns into the corner, in the way its suspension feels. Well, I would get something like that from a BMW 335i, which would cost a lot of money. But from a car that costs 100 RMB, less than 300,000 RMB, which is only half a price of a 335 that used to cost here in China. Wow, this is something. Well, I guess now it's a really good time to take a look. What does this car do with its 73 horsepower? Well, I turn Sport Plus mode, 1 foot on the brakes, another foot on the accelerator, and here we go. It's quick! Well, to be honest, It's not something I would expect from close to 700 horsepower, but it is quick, it's fast, it's more than enough for anyone. In Sport Plus mode, its suspension goes down, its adaptive damping turn on, its tightest, stiffest mode, and in the corners this car feels tight. Is there any body roll? There is a very small amount of it, just to let you know. Yes, right now your speed is actually quite high. Yes, you have grip for now, but its body control is really good, considering this is not a track-ready car. This is a sports sedan, and in the corners it behaves really naughty. Whoa, the acceleration is quite interesting. Why? Because, well, the electric motors, they work very different from a petrol engine or a diesel engine. Why? Because from zero revs, it gives you the maximum amount of horsepower and the torque. So when you press the accelerator, it just goes like a bullet. And with close to 700 horsepower, this is quick. All right, the thing is, it's really good in the corners as well. Its body control is really nice. In the corner, when you press the accelerator, you have to be really careful. Why? Because most of its power comes from the rear motor, and you can feel that it pushes, and if you are not careful with this car, it will bite, and it will bite your head off. So do not joke with it, do not play with it. As I would say this way, you can play with it, but you have to respect it, because this is not a very simple car to drive. It can give you a lot of things, but it also asks from you respect. It asks from you a lot. So you have to know these things before you drive. Especially right now, these damp roads, mountain roads, beautiful, it's nice, all of these turns are great, but I have to be really careful, because this thing, oh man, it's quick. In the corners, it's really nice. Whoa. Oof. You have to be on your toes, you have to be really careful with this car. You can get lots of fun, but you also can get lots of trouble. Its steering is tight, it's quick, it's crisp. Well, of course, this is not BMW M3 rival. No. Maybe in terms of speed, this will be quicker, but in terms of handling and driving pleasure, well, it's a very different thing. But if we consider how much you paid for it, well, it's really difficult to do better. It's really difficult to do better, because this, wow, it's nice. Well, overall, this car, Xiaomi SU7, how is it? Is it worth considering? Is it worth buying? Well, depends. If you do not mind being a test subject, then it's okay. This is a really nice car. It's nice inside, it's really good to look at, it's great to drive, it's quick, it handles. The thing is, this is Xiaomi's first ever car. They might have really good engineers and designers. They could think of lots and lots of things. But when people started buying these cars, started using these cars, after they use these cars in different environments, which engineers wouldn't even think of, then it shows how it behaves and what problems it might have, and it has, and it does have problems. So I would suggest it this way. You could wait until maybe a facelift, or wait until the second generation, and then you buy this car, because the first attempt is already, it's really good. The only thing is, being the first car, you do not know how it will behave in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years. Xiaomi, they will gather all of this information. They will gather more experience, they will gather more data, and they will make it better. That's for sure. Is that a nice car? It is. Would I buy this car? To be honest, now I'm quite tempted to do so. My wife likes this car, I like this car, it's great to drive, it's comfy, it's quick, but how it will behave, I do not know. So I guess this is for you guys to decide. The only thing I can do, I would like to applaud Xiaomi because they did a really nice first car. Well guys, if you would like to know a little more or a lot more about cars in general, or cars in China, cars we all know or cars you haven't even seen of, please subscribe to our channel Car Shifu. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.